Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Bobby. Guys, hello, greetings from dystopia. Today we're gonna check out the video called My Wife's Career Has Changed Our Relationship ... on Channel 4 Documentaries. Oh wow, your wife's career has changed your relationship? You don't say. How very surprising. Man, nowadays nothing shocks me anymore. But I have to say that it does make me a bit sad to see the West in such a state. Anyways guys, before we jump into the video, as always, if you enjoy my content, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description box below to support my work. And now, with no further ado, let's have a look.
Neither of us wants to end the relationship. We want to stay together. But I don't like the idea of Kat sleeping with other men.
Wow, you don't like it? That's all?
Yeah, how
you just
things
don't
have
like
changed.
it? Let's go. Let's get demoralized.
What do you do for a living?
So for a living, I make adult content primarily on Onlyfans.
And I work in IT.
I really believe such euphemisms should be illegal. I make adult content predominantly on Onlyfans. You are a prostitute. You're doing pornography and you should voice it as it is.
You make good money.
Adult content.
Near enough $5,000 a month. But I'd like to be maybe like 10,000. I think that would be like the goal.
And how are you planning on getting there?
Wow.
Yeah, at the moment.
So I'm very aware that many people are struggling out there and 5k seems like a lot for some people, but let me tell you, it truly is not. And there are many ways of making 5k per month other than pimping your wife out.
And I just post solo and girl stuff, and I've had a lot of people ask about boy-girl stuff, so I think a lot of people would come back or subscribe to me if I did do that.
And would you do it?
I would do a scene with someone else, yeah.
And
Okay.
how do you feel about it?
I am a realist. I'm interested in what is true. This is why the main content on my channel is about religion. I am interested in what is ultimately true, what is objectively true, and not what people think, what people feel. Now, we have this society in this day and age where we have things, institutions such as Onlyfans. And therefore, now you're being told that this is somehow a legitimate career path, that this is somehow a work. Sex work is work also. No, it is not. You might think so because society dictates it and because you're uploading it on a computer, therefore you think somehow this is not morally reprehensive. But what is happening in reality? What is happening in real life? So she said, basically, translation for you, that she is sexually engaged with other women and with herself, filming this whole thing and then uploading it to the internet so other people can see it. Now she's in the pursuit of making more money. 5k is not enough. She wants 10k. And now her subscribers, her customers, because she's a prostitute yet again, want her to do boy-girl stuff. You're not a girl, you're a grown-ass woman and you're involved in pornography. And now yet again, what are they interested in? They're interested in seeing you in sexual relations with another man. However, you are married. So now you are saying you're going to cheat on your husband, you're going to commit adultery. I know that those people don't care for that. For money. This is what she just said.
About the idea of her sleeping with another man?
There is that level of jealousy. Obviously, it's difficult to split it emotionally. There is Kat and then there's Katie, the porn star. But they're both my wife.
Yes, exactly. So ultimately what he said there in the end is the truth. They are both my wife. There are no both. There are no two women here. Kat and Katie and whatever they use here. Ultimately, it is the same person. And therefore, again, what is true? What is real here? It does not matter that she puts on a persona and is making money with it. No, physically, she is doing the act. She is really engaged in sex with other people. She's engaged in homosexual affairs there. and now she wants to have sex with another man. And obviously you would have a problem with that, to put it mildly. The man is so cucked, it's absolutely disgusting to see. Now the husband has to question himself if his emotional response here is accurate, if it is alright that he feels a certain way. But yeah, I guess I have to split those two personas. No, you don't, man. Your wife cheats on you. Disgusting, man.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Wow.
Poor dude.
About 6 months ago, I did my first collab with another man that involved full sex with somebody else who was a man. So yeah, that was a big thing. Obviously I've done it since, but you've met him actually, haven't you?
I met him. He didn't know who I was. And I went, my wife! And he was like... And then I introduced myself.
Do you get jealous thinking about Kat's work?
Well, I probably have been a bit jealous, considering what you do.
I think porn and sex are two completely different things. Yeah. And I don't
No, they're not.
think you fully understand that yet. But it is, for me anyway, it's like acting. It's not anything other than acting.
Yeah, but with the girl scene, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And that's different, you know?
Stuff it all.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah.
I think the first couple were a bit difficult.
Yeah, I remember like when I got home from the first one, even though you were like, yeah, no, it's fine, I understand it's work, and I think the next day you were just like a little bit quiet, and I was like, you okay? And you were like, yeah. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you're okay?
I like how a lot of it's like...
It is so utterly demonic and disgusting how they're laughing about it. You can even see that the expression of the husband has changed. Now he's ridiculing it, he's making jokes about it. But in the previous footage, the footage 6 months ago, you can see a genuine concern. He was really scared about what will happen very soon. And then indeed it did happen, and this guy got scarred for life. Now he has to laugh it off, he has to joke about it in order to make sense out of the situation. But yet again, the reality is the reality. This woman tries to pretend that it's just work and it's just like acting. Acting is perverted as well, because Hollywood nowadays dictates what acting is. But within Hollywood, you already have soft pornography ultimately. Because yes, you're acting out emotions, you're pretending to be somebody that you're not. But the moment when you kiss somebody on camera, or the moment when you get naked on camera, which they do in Hollywood nowadays, you are doing it. So it does not matter what you think. And this is why I said in the beginning, I don't care what you think about. I don't care what you believe. This is only in your head. What is important is the reality, what is truly happening. And what is truly happening is, again, that this woman had sex with multiple other men now, and therefore cheated on her husband. And therefore this marriage is not valid either. And moreover, this is not your wife any longer. This is the truth. The truth is that two people got together under God. In reality, they formed a pact, a bond, spiritually through sex. They formed an even stronger relationship, which is ultimately the marriage, the wedding. This is why sex out of wedlock is considered adultery, fornication, etc., etc. When you read in the Bible, ultimately, it says that you get married to become one flesh, which means you have sex, you become one flesh, and through that you are married to each other. Obviously, why do you wait for sex after marriage? Because it belongs into marriage, because it is marriage. This is what spiritually unites two people, a man and a woman, the sacred act of sex. But now it's not sacred any longer because people give it up for free, and they do it with random nobodies on the street and now even on camera. And therefore the reality is this man is not in a marriage now. The moment that your wife considers having sex with other men and then goes through with it, you are basically divorced.
Out of sight, out of mind. It's like, I know when, I know what she's doing, but I don't want to know details.
Yeah, you don't want to know like the explicit stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but like you've done it quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all now.
Yeah.
No, not at all,
Would you do the
man.
same with
A good rule of thumb would be transparent with your husband or your wife. Don't lie to each other. If you have to hide certain explicit details because it is so wicked, so perverted, and you don't want your partner to know about it, maybe consider not doing it in the first place, because it just shows you through your conscience that this does not belong in a marriage, nor does it belong anywhere else. I'm sure you're not discussing those explicit details with your parents either.
Yeah.
Would you do the same with Rob?
I think I'd be very nervous doing a scene with Rob. The only times we've ever had sex is just like for us. Filming it is very different, and putting it out to all these people online, especially because we're married. People might not like it, might get a lot of hate comments, so...
I would have thought it'd be more comfortable with me, because you know me. It's like when you've done scenes with like the other girls. First time you're always really nervous.
Yeah.
Once you get to know them a bit, it's more comfortable.
How involved have you got?
Oh, the guy's so cocked it hurts. Oh, the guy's so much in denial, it's absolutely painful to watch, of course. No, she says she wouldn't be comfortable with you in front of the camera because you are her cucked husband that is staying at home. You are there for emotional support, ultimately, the one that she goes back to after doing the dirty deed. Therefore, she doesn't want you in her workspace. There she goes wild in front of the camera with other people.
Well, I've filmed several videos.
Two with this
What?
taken.
Yeah.
We
What?
did like a Valentine's Day blowjob, didn't we? I thought that's what it was. I was like, oh, thank you so much for getting me all this sexy underwear. Before we go out to dinner, let me just like...
Oh, and I come up with some good ideas for TikToks and things.
You do come up with some good ideas. Plug
Yeah, the
one.
light up bug.
Yeah.
I did like the Mario Kart intro. Go red, red, beep.
And then
go
you
green.
had the remote and then turned it green.
Oh my god, man, this man deserves everything that is coming to
Have
him.
you thought about having an open relationship?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's something that we discussed before we got married.
We discussed.
Cat's more into the idea than I am.
Oh my god, this is so sad, man. I mean, looking at the woman, she's not super attractive or anything, she's just average. But the point of the story is that even if you are an average woman, you can get a lot of attention nowadays. It really doesn't take much. She is running her Onlyfans. If she would go to a bar, she could hook up easily with some drunk guys. It's not a problem for a woman. This guy, on the other hand, he is not terrible looking or anything on those lines, but his character is so extremely unattractive, of course, and women will smell the desperation. Therefore, this man is most definitely not a ladies' man, and therefore he's not interested at all in having an open relationship because he knows he cannot get anybody else. This is probably why he's still staying with her. She essentially has all the control over him because he's so afraid of losing her that he then allows her to do anything she wants. Literally anything. Sex in front of the camera, you go honey, doesn't matter. Open relationship, he will agree to that as well. I'm sure we're going to see that in a minute here. But ultimately this open relationship will be open for her. He will be just left out.
But at the moment, I wouldn't
like that.
want us to move into that kind of open relationship.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, I got him. Oh,
Yeah, we've been
disgusting.
to one.
Swingers party, as in like
party.
a sort
Oh
of
my God.
night out, like people drinking, like 100 people there, sort of thing.
Ah.
But that was, I think you enjoyed it more than me.
Oh yeah.
Finally got some action. Huh?
Swing?
Well, I didn't do anything. I was a bit tired and I drank too much Diet Coke, so I felt a bit sick. But all the people, like the other content creators, they all went off and had like this massive orgy. And I remember just sticking my head around and I was like...
I didn't want to leave empty-handed, so I made out with another woman
He made ours.
that you've worked with before. and we know.
Yeah, she's lovely, yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely and gorgeous, and Kat was in the background
I
behind
literally
her.
was going like this.
Good dog,
I was
good
going like
dog.
this
He
as it
got his
happened.
treat.
Make it rain.
So now the wife can keep on working.
And yeah,
That's amazing.
we've met some other couples,
But more privately.
and that's where like the intimate, like couple swapping Works a bit
I'm getting
better.
goosebumps listening to this. So disgusting.
It's like, come dine with me, but with a better ending.
How many people have you slept with?
Maybe just over 30 people.
Before starting OnlyFans, I slept with probably about 15 people, but since then it's probably added about 10 different girls to it. You probably know your answer.
On more than last year.
I don't know, I must have slept with at least like 30, 40, 50 people now.
What's your sex life
Great.
like?
Did also figure something out recently. You become more attracted to me
Yeah.
when I'm happy.
I get very affected by your emotions.
And you fell in love with me because of my,
Sense of humour,
yeah.
pretty much so.
So
Yeah.
when you're down, you're not as funny.
How has Rob's illness
Let's just
affected
all
your
have fun.
relationship?
Well, it's changed me. I used to be a lot happier.
I feel like it's sort of like an acceptance process for both of us, I guess. It's sort of mourning a life that we could have had. I think I've pretty much come to terms with it.
Well, yeah, you got to grieve the life you had, the life you would have had. You got to grieve for the body that you had. So you fluctuate through the stages of grief. It's almost like a nice reminder watching that to like see the progress in myself. Still good and
Yeah,
bad
the
days,
progress
but
is that they subscribe to hedonism now, and right now they're enjoying their newfound excitement. This is really all it is. Right now, the guy came to terms, superficially, with his wife having sex with other men because he got a little treat. He got, not even sex, he kissed another woman, and that made him a bit happier. So right now, they're gonna go through that excitement and enjoy it for a while. But as always, it is very short-lived, of course. This is not sustainable because at some point, reality will hit. And if you really go through with this and at some point you want to have children, do you really think that you will be good role models for your children? I hate being the moral apostle here, but in this day and age, society is so screwed that you have to point those things out. They're simply not seeing it anymore, and those industries like OnlyFans normalized the absolute abnormal.
better days.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for?
I am very grateful for my family. They mean the absolute world to me.
Yeah,
They're very supportive.
they
And
like
yeah,
what you do.
I honestly don't know what I'd do without them.
They like what you do, yeah. Daddy's proud.
And just,
Oh my god. She doesn't care at all for
What are you
him,
grateful
man.
for now?
Such a cock, the poor guy.
I am very grateful for Rob being there, supporting me
Now
through
it's him.
everything.
After she saw that clip. Actually for Rob.
I'm grateful that she's found this career because
Yeah.
it helps us. The money takes pressure off me. Yeah, I'm grateful for everything she does.
Alright guys, and this is it for today's video. Now I'm gonna go puke for the next 24 hours probably. Absolutely repulsive, and this guy really believes that he is grateful. What are you grateful for? That you cannot get enough money and therefore you have to hoe your wife out to other men, and not only to other men in itself, physically, no, but you're going to record the whole thing for other men then to see it and pleasure themselves watching it. This is so absolutely repulsive, and it really makes me question how far the West can fall. Is the bottom reached yet? Does it go any further? I'm generally asking this myself because on a daily basis, you're just bombarded by such content. Those people look like average people at first glance. You would think that they have normal jobs, which he actually does. He is in IT. But no, they're running a prostitution business from their home now. This is how it works. And this is what has been enabled by those agencies, by those companies, by those websites. And now you could say, don't hate the player, hate the game. But the reality is people are weak. If I learned anything in my life, it is this. People are enormously weak, tremendously weak, and they are followers. And they will do whatever is socially acceptable. truly, it does not matter what the topic is, what the politics are, what the religion is, as long as the majority does it, the majority will follow. And therefore, at this day and age, it is liberalism and everybody follows. Even religious people follow liberalism, because if they don't, they're seen as religious extremists, tied up, they're kind of prude. Simply go along with everything that we do. This is the common zeitgeist at the moment, and you have to obey it. And therefore, the fault lays with those companies, with those agencies that are run by specific people with malicious intent, of course. They are creating prostitution rings now in this day and age, accessible for the common people. As I said, 5K is not that much, believe me. But for those people that otherwise would maybe make 2K, this is tremendous. This is absolutely unbelievable money that they're getting for something that is pleasurable. This is how you're being tricked into making your wife a prostitute. Absolutely disgusting. All right, guys, and this is it for today's video. If you liked it, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the links in the description box to further support my work, which is not Onlyfans, thank God. Anyways, as always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.
يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي